Very good morning to one and all. Today we are going to discuss about this tariff, electric tariff. So what are the types of tariff? How the tariff is being varied in the different regions or different states or different countries. So what are the characteristics of that particular tariff? Like that we are going to discuss in the today's class. As you know, electrical energy produced by power station is delivered to the large number of consumers. So the consumers what can be persuaded to use this electrical energy if it is sold at a reasonable rates. So reasonable rates. So you have to highlight this word reasonable. So it should be very less. It should be reasonable tariff, so that you can utilize more. So that you can utilize the appliances more. So reasonable. Say for example, if they are increasing instead of 5 rupees or 6 rupees, they are increasing to 20 rupees, 30 rupees. Then the consumption will be very less. Like many of us, they might be going for some other alternative energy resources like solar, or they may even purchase a small generator in their home, and they may able to generate of their own, even if you charge with more tariff. So it should be very reasonable. The tariff, that is the rate at which electrical, what is made tariff? The rate at which electrical energy is sold to the consumers is known as the tariff. That is naturally becomes attention in for electrical supply company. The supply company has to ensure the tariff is such that it not only recovers the total cost for producing energy but also earns profit on the capital investment. So, yeah, the generation companies not only sold with their whatever the amount they are going to spend for that particular unit per unit. So they may also add some profit also with some certain profit only. They may able to survive. They may able to survive, or able to do the process continuously. Without the profit, nowhere they can run the government and as well as the company. If without the profit, if you are running the company, then it is not good. But the government they can run. Why? Because what the government generally the state government, what they are doing is, so profit they are getting from electricity boards, like generation, transmission and distribution companies. They are getting the profit, the certain profit. They, what they are doing is they are taking that profit and they are investing in some other schemes, some free schemes, then some welfare schemes, then that nowadays in hospital, for spending in hospitals, like that. They are spending in the spending that schemes profit to that particular government schemes. By meanwhile, like after 2 years or 3 years, meanwhile that profit will be taken back, and that should be given with some shares to the employees. Some they may increase the salaries to the employees, like that. Some TADA they may increase like 1 year once, or 5 years once. They may increase slowly without profit, because while saving in the bank they are getting certain interest also. And some other governments, they are instead they are taking that profit, they are like investing in the infrastructure development, and they may able to run the government, even not only from the electricity sector, even from transport sectors, whichever the sectors they are giving more profit, they are taking that profit and they are investing in some other sectors, so that they are balancing, and they are running the governments smoothly. Like free water schemes they are giving, no. So who is giving the money to government? Because we are utilizing, even though for pumping itself, it will take some minimum amount to the government. Even though water is free, but pumping, then salaries to that particular employees and all, who will give. So like that, they are utilizing, balancing the schemes, balancing the profit to the some other schemes. However, the profit must be marginal, particular for the country like India. So the country like developing countries like India, so that profit should be of very very less marginal amount, very less amount. Even the profit might be more now. Most of the if you take majority of the Indian peoples are middle class. Only 20 percentage of people are okay, they are richer, but the 80 percentage of people are still middle class families. Okay, so they may depend on daily wages or otherwise monthly wages. Even if they go to the go to the job, then only they may able to run their own daily so that also countries like India, that also is a very very important factor. Whereas if you take like foreign countries, they are very very rich, and also population is very very less. Population is less. Due to the population is less, then the schemes they are providing, and schemes they are providing more with the least cost also. Where then if you see like country like India, where electrical supply companies comes under public sector. So public sector nowadays slowly this central government is planning to make sailing this public sector to the private sector. So I'm able to discuss that thing very shortly. Why? Because that is a very big topic. Like there are some advantage and as well as some disadvantages also. If we give to that electricity boards to like private sectors, if you give for sometimes due to the competition as it happened in mobile market, no, after Geo comes into the market, then all the like the mobile companies forced to reduce their tariff. Like that also that, but simply like 1 or 2 years they will give some fancy scheme, different schemes, so that all will grab that particular private companies. So after that slowly they may raise the tariff. So previously 1 or 2 years they will give full free, 100 units free, 200 units, up to 200 units free. After that like 3 rupees, 4 rupees. Then demand based tariff they may go for. Demand time itself we have to pay 10 rupees. Then non demand hours 3 rupees, like that also they may go for. So something advantages also there, and something after 2 years they may simply raise their tariff. Even though the regulatory commission is there, the countries like India, actually regulatory commission has to work independent organization. Even president and the prime minister or chief ministers, nobody can interfere into the regulatory commission's thing. Okay, so whatever the regulatory commission is recommending, the government has to hear, or otherwise. So the countries like India, slowly that also will be changing. So you know the railway sector, how slowly changing, and many public sectors, in the recent days, railway sectors, then LICs, insurance companies. Slowly, they are planning to give to the private sectors. So, private sectors, even though that is good, and later it was very, very worse. It will become our country will become like United States later. So any small pin, if you want to purchase, means that small pin also, whatever they are giving the rate, that rate you have to buy. Even that small pin also in future they may go for like 10 rupees also. A small pin, even 10 rupees also, if they fix, you have to buy that pin. So like that, that also there. But even government authority should involve, so that this tariff might be will be reducing. So that will be a very very big topic. In a free time we can discuss this. Next, coming to the tariff. What is meant by tariff? A tariff is nothing but the rate at which electrical energy is supplied to the consumer is known as tariff. So whatever the okay, whatever the amount your generation company is fixing, okay. So whatever the rate at which whatever you are consuming, so that you are paying. So the rate at which electrical energy is supplied to the consumer. Okay, so this rate electrical companies is fixing for domestic tariff. This might be the rate 5 rupees, 6 rupees, like that they are fixing some tariff. So for domestic tariff, so if you cross, there are some in single phase also there are some limits. So if you cross 500 units, then the 6 rupees will goes up to 8 rupees. So if you not cross up to 500 units, then again 6 rupees only. Then if you cross again 1000 and above, again that 8 rupees may change to another 1 or 2 rupees. Like that they are charging. And three phase they are charging with some certain tariff, some 8 rupees, 9 rupees per unit. Like that they are charging. And commercial tariff different, and industrial tariff is different. So although the tariff should include, what is meant by tariff? A tariff should include the total okay, generation cost, transmission cost, and as well as the distribution cost. Generation, transmission, distribution cost. Okay, so distribution cost will comes under distribution and as well as collecting the tariff. Okay, distribution companies. So nowadays distribution companies only collecting the tariff. No, your tariff will be collected by your distribution company. So distribution company's role is to distribute the power from like a substation to this your home or industry or shops, wherever it may be. Wherever it may be, then they are charging with the tariff. It is because of producing electrical energy depends on the considerable extent upon the magnitudes of electrical energy consumed by user and its load conditions. So different load conditions they may change. So if you are not maintaining the power factor in industries, then definitely they may charge with some different tariff. Okay, penalty tariff they may charge it. Therefore, all in all, fairness due to consideration has to be given to different types of consumers. Fairness should be given to different types of consumers like industrial, domestic and commercial. So there should be some difference. It should not be like a same. It should not be like same for all type of in some other countries how they are following is even though you're either domestic or industrial or commercial, same tariff. Okay, so same tariff, whatever the amount the energy you are consuming, you have to pay. In some other countries, same tariff for all, but peak demand time it is varying. Peak demand time it is varying. How means from evening 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. For domestic loads, they will be charged with a peak tariff. There will be some 2 meters. So that particular time, that meter will programmed for that particular time only, 6 to 10, and the morning 7 to 10. So this time alone, you will be charged with the special tariff. Next, remaining time, the second meter will work. Remaining time, the second meter will work. So based on the whatever the consumption, that you have to pay with a another tariff, less tariff. This is somewhat higher than this. So this combiningly two, you have to pay the tariff to the distribution companies. Industry is also same. So what are the peak hours for them? Morning, like 9 o'clock to 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So that time, then 2 o'clock to then 6 o'clock, that time. So these hours alone, they have to, like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, they have to pay the different tariff. Then night time, another different tariff. Like that also they are following in the some other countries. So it may differ. It may differ. There is not a separate rule. It has to be like this only, like that. So based on region, they the generation mission employees have to the employees
Sir, your
maintenance
voice is a
cost.
little bit disturbance, sir. Vijay, sir.
Now it's okay, sir.
Now okay, sir. Now okay.
Okay. So my internet connection was not stable, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, now it is stable, sir. Okay. So your tariff will reflects the generation cost, transmission, and as well as distribution cost, plus the profit to that particular company. Okay, so generation cost, which includes generation, salaries to the employees, maintenance cost in the sense operation and maintenance. So in short form, they will be called as O&M. O&M cost means operation and maintenance cost. Then wear and tear loss, then taxes, okay, insurance they have to pay. So insurance itself, it is very very big amount. Okay, so my yearly once, like 20 percentage insurance, 10 percentage insurance. Okay, so if you take the cost of that particular plant, some approximately 50 crores it is coming. So 50 crores, 10 percentage means approximately it is coming like how much? It is coming like 50 lakhs. So 50 lakhs yearly you have to pay. So even one generating station itself 50 lakhs you have to pay. So if you take like 40 or 50 generating units, so 50 into 50, that itself coming in crores. So 50 crores to 100 crores itself yearly you have, we are paying to insurance companies. Like any damages, we then simply like that we can claim. But even though we have to, that also should be included here. Then salaries, then yearly increment to the employees we have to give. So that also have to be included. Then depreciation, some certain amount we are keeping. So that also we are including. So all this combiningly together, they will be dividing, even combining all the district and all the regions, for whole state or whole country, like that. They may divide based on the what are the things we are going to spend, and what is our profit might be somewhat fair. It should not be very very more. Like example, yeah, even if it is with the government companies, now it is with the government companies, like 90 percentage, okay, of the shares, of the, all the generators are with the government. Only 10 percentage, okay, private company are playing their roles. So 90%. So all the things, all the tariff decision, everything will be maintained by the government. So if it is maintained by the government, the profit what they will do is they will go for very very less profit. They will go for very very less profit, like 5%, 10%, 8%, like that. They may go for very very less profit. If it is goes to private companies, they may go for very very more profit. As it is happening, like in petroleum products, how it is increasing. So if they go for more profit, then automatically in future, like after 20 years, we have to pay, instead of 5 rupees, you have to pay for 20 rupees or 25 rupees, 30 rupees per unit. Then your electrical, bill, like your tariff will be in that time. After 10 years, that time, even if you are paying like a monthly per month 1000 rupees. So in future you have to pay around 4000 rupees or 5000 rupees. After 10 years you have to pay same. Okay, yeah, middle class family has to pay 5000 rupees. So that's why even though central government is insisting, some state governments they are not keeping this electricity board to the private sector. They are not selling the electricity boards to the private sector. So like profit might be of very less. They have to fix the profit. They might be very less. Then it is okay for the people to enjoy with the power. So we have to enjoy. We have to consume the power. Yeah, so that is how our electricity bill should reflect. Okay, so now without hesitating we are just keeping turning on all our appliances, like we are turning on our ACs, air conditioners, then we are turning on our air coolers, like without any hesitations, like simply like that. Whenever you are feeling uncomfortable, we are just keeping on. So if the tariff is 20 rupees, then we'll think, mostly our human being, how will think means definitely will think, as all human beings definitely will think. So like one per unit is 20 rupees. So why to even waste? Instead of 4 hours 5 hours, we'll go for only 1 hour only. We will just on for 1 hour or 2 hours, like that, instead of going for 4 5 or 8 hours. So that also will be, we have to enjoy with the consuming loads, that should be there. So next, what are the objectives of tariff? So objectives is like other commodities, electrical energy also sold at a rate so that it not only returns the cost, but it also earns reasonable profit. So it might be of some reasonable profit they have to get, not fully profit, reasonable profit they have to get. Then only they may run the generators, they may transmit, they may distribute, they may go for maintenance, frequent maintenance, then replacements, replacing the machine, like equipments, once in 10 years, 20 years. After that, in most of the parts of India, even that life, the equipment life is they may give like 20 years, like that, but still 30 years also running. So what we are doing is, instead of changing the transformers, we are changing only winding, and we are going for using that, and like small maintenance we are doing, and still it is running. So if you see your nearby the distribution transformers, if you go and see the year which make 1990 90s or 1995, like that, 30 years it might be running, 30 years. So like simply they are replacing the parts inside. So simply they are running, because ourselves still developing, so that developing countries, so we are just maintaining and we are running. But whereas in foreign countries, majority it's like 100 percentage of the generation companies or transmission distribution companies owned by fully private sectors. Okay, so private sectors, so there they are replacing, and as well as some regulatory commission is there. Regulatory commission is keep on monitoring, even a single rupee, single dollar, if they are going to increase also, that regulatory commission is, if it is reasonable, they are allowing. Like a private company, simply like that, they may change the tariff. So if it is not reasonable, they are not allowing. So that similar kind also, if it is happen in India, then we also may future think in the future. Condition, the important condition is that regulatory commission will be very strict. It has to order only, no one it has to involve, nobody, even the president also will not be able to involve prime minister, minister of power. Everyone should not be involved in that. Then we can go for the like a private sector. We can think that should happen in the private sectors, because the government, if you see, the government is this job, this particular thing is very hectic for government sectors. Even they have to allocate the resources, then they have to manpower, they have to allocate, then resources they are okay, they are importing from some foreign countries. So that is very very hectic thing, some from aeroplanes, or then from shipyards it is coming. Then that is a very very headache for the government. But even they are running, why? Because to the only for ours, only for the consumers, for the consumers, they have to, the government has to provide with a reliable and reliable supply, and as well as the electricity with less tariff. Even they are still running that particular sector with the government. Next is recovery of the cost of producing electrical energy at power station. So the main objective of tariff, it should recover the cost of producing electrical energy. So cost of producing electrical energy means resources, all operating, whatever the cost you're spending in that particular generation company, everything that has to be recovered. Next is recovery of cost on capital investment in transmission and distribution system. So constructing a particular transmission line is not at all an easy job. Okay, in plains, in the plains where we living is very very easy. You can still, but if you think like in a hill station, like hilly areas, even in forest areas, constructing a transmission line, okay, is not at all an easy task. Okay, they are using some helicopters, okay, for carrying that particular transmission towers, and some 10 employees, 20 employees has to go there, and they have to work there, and they have to, because the hill will be of like the slanting. Okay, so they have to keep, they have to install a transmission tower here, transmission tower, they have to install the transmission tower like here. So that is not an easy task, even in reserve forest. Okay, some wild animals also will come at any time, that also we don't know. But even though in reserve forest, they are installed, even though you are in from the city limits, you are in like 60 kilometers, even 100 kilometers, you are staying in a very deep village. You are staying in a very deep village where in and around only five families only they are living. Okay, even though they have to provide, so electricity board has to provide the power to that particular transmission tower or pole to that particular place, and they have to give you the power. Okay, so that is the power for all scheme. Okay, from 1984 onwards, this scheme was started slowly. In each 5 years plan, they are okay, increasing this okay, number of connections. They are increasing the number of connections. Then now, 10 years back, they have given with the scheme, like even even you're staying in the remote place of India also, they have to provide it with the supply, power supply. Okay, so even a mini generator, or solar panel, or anything, they have to provide, and they have to give the supply to that particular, even one family also they have to give the supply. So that is the route. Okay, you can build, or you can live any part of the India if you are living there, and if you are applying the connection, then they have to provide. That is the power for all scheme. Next is recovery of cost of electrical operation and maintenance of supply of electrical energy. So operation and maintenance, that is O&M. We will call this a short form as O&M. So this O&M cost also we have to get back. Okay, so yearly, day by day, this operation and maintenance will be increasing. We can't, so we'll deposit certain amount, 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs for operation and maintenance. Suddenly, one whole generator shaft will go off. Again, we have to purchase that generator shaft, or we need to replace, or we need to work on that, and we need to go for maintenance with that particular shaft. Then some turbine runners in a hydropower station runners we need to replace. That runners also will take manufacturing that runners is not at all an easy task. So you have to exactly make, then only the efficiency will come. Okay, if you go for maintenance, if you just miss a small curve also, then efficiency dropping in the generator. So exactly this type of that Francis and Kepler turbines, exactly you have to make. Okay, exactly they will be testing, and they maybe go for operation. Then metering is metering equipment and billing. So metering, if you see like in substation, um, like previously 5 years before, majority of the substations are running with only. Even though now also, if you go 70 percentage of like substations still in India, they are running with the old meters only. That meters are of 50 years old. Still, it is running. So now, slowly, after before 8 years, they slowly started. I think 2011 or 12. They slowly started to replace all this electric meters. All these meters. There's even though some meters will give wrong readings, power factor and all. If it is given with the wrong readings, then the total thing will get spoiled. The total substation and the total load will get collapse. So slowly there's changing. Then like previously, 2013, I think so. 13 they replaced all the old energy meters, old analog energy meters, even in our domestic homes from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, they have changed under the scheme of APDRP scheme on scheme. They have changed the meters from whole Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Nowadays, everywhere if you go in India, you will be not finding in domestic and as well as industry, commercial, you will be not finding the old analog energy meters. Okay, so 100 percentage it is being replaced in India. Why? Because previously the old energy meters will be giving the wrong readings sometimes. Then some members are going for some with a magnet, it is not rotating for certain times. Then even though if you see like they will be consuming more, they will be paying very less. They will be paying. I'm talking about 10 years back, 9 years back. Okay, the whole that building will be utilizing the whole even ACs and everything. They will be paying only 500 rupees only, 500 rupees only. And sometimes what they are doing is they are closing the houses. They are while they will come for reading. No? By the time they are closing the houses and they are going away. So if the house is being closed, previously, I'm talking about previously, 10 years before, they will be given with a average base tariff. One base tariff will be there, 100 rupees. If house is closed, they have to pay 100 rupees. Next month they have to pay the whole amount. Like that they will they will be it will be minus. Then they have to pay the, like that also. Sometimes they are doing. And even like whole year also somebody else are closing their house and they are going out. Even in particular time, whenever that the person is coming to take the reading, that time only they are going out. So that is sort of very huge loss for electrical companies, electricity boards, because they are spending more. Okay, there's in the at the last, if financial statement, if you take if they are spending more and they are getting less, spending more and getting less, why should we run this thing? So they have replaced almost all the meters. We don't have to pay a single rupee, but government itself replaced. That the state government subsidy they are giving around 60-80 percentage, I think. So central government they are giving 20 percentage subsidy for that metering alone. So they have changed all the meters. So now your electricity bill after like from 8 years before itself you are paying with the correct tariff. They are paying with the correct tariff. Previously, due to the meters not running properly, we are paying very less tariff. Now the profit to the electrical companies, that is electricity boards, is coming correctly, reasonably and correctly. Then and also equipment also they have to replace. Then billing, I said no, billing, what are the billing things? So that also we should recover. We have to get exact billings, so then only the profit will come for the electricity goods. Or otherwise, if you go for less billings, then definitely that will be the loss for the like electricity companies. Then again, suitable suitable profit on the capital investment. So capital investment, so profit, there some generating units, while they're installing, they are getting the loan. They are getting the loan from World Bank. They are constructing, and like a capital investment also they are doing. Some government, some 20 percentage they will give, and central government they may give around 5 to 10 percentage. State government they may give central government like 5 to 10 percentage. Then like 60 percentage we have to go for the loan. So 60 percentage is capital cost we are investing. So that interest also might be added in uh, this thing. Then only it has to reflect in the tariff. Then only the government may able to run this electricity board. Otherwise, it will be of very hectic thing in this. Next, coming to the desirable characteristics of tariff. Okay, coming to the desirable characteristics of tariff. A tariff must have following desirable characteristics. Tariff must have following desirable characteristics. So it should have proper written, proper written. Okay, so as I said, if like electricity board, if they are going for, if you take like yearly statement, okay, yearly statement of that electricity board. So whatever the amount spent, it has to exceed, okay, whatever the amount we got. Okay, so if it is less now, again so some problem is there. So proper return should come to the particular government. Yes, tariff should such that it ensures the proper return from each consumers. Every consumers has to give, okay, give correctly, give mm, the correct tariff, so that they also may generate happily, we also will consume happily. Even though in that way government is, state government is giving the subsidy, okay, that 5 rupees or 6 rupees is not at all the correct tariff. If you go for calculating, okay, if you go for calculating all the things, then definitely that tariff will comes around 8 rupees. Okay, they are giving per unit as 3 rupees, 2 rupees the profit, sorry, 2 rupees loss only, subsidy only they are giving. So even with some other departments, they may uh, compensate. Some other departments it will give more profit, no, with that they may compensate. So that is the one of the advantage, very important advantage of this, uh, like owning with government sectors. Even if private, they will not bear, simply they will reflect in the tariff. Okay, so even after 1 year or 2 years, if the resources cost is going high, okay, they will simply raise the tariff to 10 rupees, 12 rupees, 15, 20 rupees. So 20 rupees, who will pay? Who will pay and who will consume? Like majority, they will not consume. They will consume very less only. Like mobile phone companies. Then they may go for like average tariff. They may go for average tariff, like monthly you have to pay uh, like 2000. Okay, so 200 units, 300 units, even though you're consuming not, monthly you have to pay 2000 rupees. Like that, they may go for. So if it is crossing 500 units means monthly you have to pay 4000 rupees. Okay, even you are consuming or you are locking the door or everything, you have to pay. Like this TVs, they're collecting. No, even though if you're recharging, even though you're not consuming for 2 months or 3 months, you have to pay. If you are not recharging, then that is your thing. But if you are recharging per year, 3 months or 2 months, you are going out of station, even though while you are consuming or not, you have to pay. And that this channels, this TV, they are come up with some base tariff. So 150 rupees, I think 153 rupees, I think 153 rupees is the base tariff. Even though if you are having that dish, if you are going to on that set-top box, minimum price you have to pay 153 rupees. Then like whichever the channel you are choosing, for that channel you have to pay extra 5 rupees, 2 rupees, 1 rupee, like that you have to pay extra. So like that also they may do something. So that's why proper return has to be come for the government sectors. Next is fairness. The tariff must be very, very fair so that the type of consumers are satisfied with the rate of charge of electrical energy. So it should be fair. It should be fair because everyone should appreciate the tariff. Even a middle class family or even a small lower middle class, everybody has to appreciate the tariff. Even 5 rupees also they have to appreciate. In some other governments, they are giving free power for first 100 units. If you consume only 100 units alone, okay, so for daily wages people and all will be there. They will be going and job for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. They will be coming only at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. They will be their load will be of only for 5 years, 5 years, and morning 1 or 2 hours. So averagely they are going to on that appliances for 5 years only, 5 years to 6 hours, 7 hours. So they also will be get benefited. So in some other state governments, they are giving given with this type of schemes. Why? Because they also will be they also will not switch off all the lights, fans, like that. Whenever needed only they will switch off. Whenever they wanted only they will switch off the light. So for a small family, for a daily wages people, a small home, I think it will not exceed 100 units if they use correctly. So they will be given with zero tariff, no tariff. Okay, so if it is crossing 100 units, they have to pay like their charge might be of, so 100 to 200 units. I think like 5 rupees they have to pay per unit. That too not for like 100. So from 100 to 200, 150 units if they are doing means. So for that 50 units alone they have to pay. Like that are all schemes they are giving from the government sector itself. So that should be of fair. It should be fair. Every consumer has to appreciate the tariff. Okay, so even middle class family also has to appreciate the tariff. 6 rupees means okay, 6 rupees okay, 20 rupees means everyone will not pay. Like 20 rupees means your cost of the tariff will be going 4 times. Even you are paying 1,000 means you have to pay 4,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees per month is not at all an easy task. So it should be fair. Next is simplicity. The tariff should be simple so that ordinary consumer also can easily understand. Okay, so even though some illiterate person or even though some normal person, like a literate person or illiterate person, every person has to understand the tariff. Okay, understand it. It should be very very simple. They even if you if you ask about the tariff to normal person also, they may able to tell. Ordinary customers also they may able to tell. Okay, this is the tariff. 100 units, no amount. After 100 units to 200 units, whatever the extra that only we have to pay. Like that, it should be simple, easily understandable, so that everybody can understand. Okay, so even a small child also can tell what is the tariff rate. If you taught this tariff, then they may able to tell. Like that, it should be very simple. It should be very simple. So complicated tariff may cause opposition from the public, which is generally distressful for the supply companies. Okay, so even though if you are charging with the, if say for example, if the supply companies are charging with 20 rupees per unit, what you will do, that there will be the huge opposition from all over the India, like petrol, it is they are doing, so huge opposition will come from all over the India. So why we need to pay this much? Like that, that opposition will come. So that opposition will be very hard to public sector company also. It should not be that. It should be very simple. Next is, it should reflect the reasonable profit. Okay, so you should not go with the very more profit, very more profit, nowadays this mobile companies is doing, no, like average tariff. Like even though you speak or don't speak, you have to pay 2,500 per month, 2,500 or 2,700 per month. Okay, so even though you utilize 1.5 GB per day, or even though you speak 24 hours a day, or one call a day, or 1 minute a day, or 1 second a day, you have to pay that tariff 2,500 rupees for whole year. Okay, so if for some companies, like companies, it might be profit. Like marketing companies, they may call up to 8 hours, they may use that particular thing. 8 hours they will be speaking to, even 24 hours also shift wise, they may speak to the consumers. But like if you take like a normal people, they will not talk that much. They may rang like 5 calls, 10 calls a day, 10 calls a day. So internet also they may not utilize like this much amount. So even though like if like a tariff, even though forcefully they have to pay, even though using or not using, they have to pay. So like that, it should not be there like that. Okay, it should be like reasonable. So whatever the amount you are utilizing, you should pay. Like 1 second, 1 second, like one paise, 1 second, one paise scheme and all they have come up with. So that is somewhat okay. So whatever the we are utilizing, we are paying 1 second, one paise. So like if you are speaking for like 4 seconds or like that, sorry, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, then you will be paid with that. Okay, and also some schemes also they have given with. Previously 10 years before, they have given with certain schemes. So free for certain minutes, then incoming is free. Nowadays incoming also you have to pay. Incoming is free, free for certain first 100 minutes, then after that you have to pay. That is not reasonable. Okay, so now they have gone with average tariff. Even though you consume or not, you have to pay. Otherwise don't use, otherwise you have to go for separate tariff. So that is also one of the loss for us sometimes. So this is as a whole, that will be a very huge profit for the mobile companies, very huge profit. So that profit should not be reflected. Okay, reasonable profit. So they maybe go for 8% per annum, like that they maybe go for sim. Yes sir, yes sir, welcome. Next is, the tariff should be attractive. Attractive means that the tariff should be attractive, so that large number of consumers also encouraged to use the electrical energy. So if it is less, then more members should afford for that particular thing. If it is attractive, say for example, even if you give 100 units free, 200 units, first 200 units free, then after that you will be paid with 8 rupees like that. Na? Everybody will use, everybody will start using, then that should be also a profit for company also. That like after 200 units, that 8 rupees will be the profit for government also. So like that it should be attractive. Free schemes if you give, it should be very very attractive, so that many of the consumers will be encouraged to utilize the energy. So efforts should be made to fix the tariff in such a way that the consumer can pay very